gorgeous! Today we're talking favorites. Now, I actually didn't even realize that I completely skipped monthly favorites last month. I don't know how that happened, but I did, and I'm sorry. But today I'm going to share with you some items that have really stood out to me over the past couple of months, and some that I've been using over and over again that I think anybody would love, and I just can't stop using them, so I want to share them with you. Also, I did film a tutorial on this like olive green smoky eye. That should be coming up in just a few days, which so many of you requested from my last makeup tutorial and asked what color you wanted to see. So many of you said olive green, so that's what I did. Okay, let's get started. I'm so excited for these because it's kind of like a mix. I have a fragrance in here, 2 brushes, a foundation. I mean, it's all good stuff. So let's get started with the very first one, which is my ultimate favorite, which is this brush. This is the EcoTools Deluxe Bronzer Brush. Dome bronzer brush. Now, I've had this in my collection for a long time, and if you've been following me here for a while, then you've seen this in action when I buff out my foundation, my bronzer, which works really well for that. But I had read somewhere, I don't even know where I read it, how long ago or whatever, but I read somewhere that this was a great dupe for the Tarte Airbrush foundation that looks like this, the really big one. And I thought, well, I don't have that one, but I'm going to give this one a try for my liquid foundation. It is amazing. First of all, it blends your foundation into your skin in like 5 seconds. It takes literally seconds to blend in your entire foundation because it's so big, but it has the perfect amount of density yet softness so that it can spread the product really well. It is phenomenal, and I actually used it when I did this tutorial, so you'll be able to see how quickly it blends it into the skin, but it is phenomenal. It really is a great product that I think is so, I think it's like $6-7. It's so worth the money, and it is probably the best foundation brush I've ever had, and I'm gonna definitely order another one so I can always have one clean. But I've used it a lot, and look at this. Do you see how it's not? Look at the difference. Look at the difference between a Sigma, the F80, and this one. And this I've only used a couple times this week just because I wanted to use something different just to see how, just to see if I was so obsessed with this, and I really am so obsessed with this. But I've used this a lot, and I've only used this a couple times, and look at the difference between how one's so dirty and one doesn't even look like it's been used. It doesn't soak up your product. Like, it's weird, but it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And on the topic of inexpensive brushes, I have to mention this because I've had it in my collection for a while, and I have makeup around me kind of everywhere. I need better, which I ordered a ton of like containers and organizing things because I need to organize my desktop a little bit better because I have like little baskets with things, and this was hidden in one of the baskets that I didn't see it. This is the e.l.f. Face Kabuki face brush. I've had this for a long time. This is awesome for all over setting powder. It really is phenomenal for like a translucent setting powder for when you just literally want to set everything and you don't have to add any color. You don't have to be precise. You can just kind of go really, really quickly. It's so good. I think one of the best I've used. I know I have one from Makeup Forever that's not that good because it's really dense. And I used to have one from MAC. I don't know what happened to it, but I know that this is much better because I used this a lot. I even took this on vacation with me, which tells you something. Okay, for my foundation that I've been really loving, you guys know I'm a face junkie. I definitely gravitate toward face more than anything else when it comes to makeup, like my base anyway, my foundation, my concealer. I was pleasantly surprised about this foundation. Now, I'm not going to say it's my holy grail foundation, but it's definitely on the very, very top list of my high-end foundation, and it is the Too Faced Born This Way Absolute Perfection Foundation. Now, I don't know that you would like this if you're oily skin, but for me, I have very normal skin. This is awesome. Now, I have it in the color Natural Beige, which worked well for me from when I wasn't tan, but I just went to Key West. I'm not that tan, but I went to Key West, and it's now a little bit light for me, which I've been mixing it with my Makeup Forever HD foundation in 128, and it works so perfectly. That's what I'm wearing today. You'll be able to see it in action in my next tutorial. It's these two together, like one pump and one pump, match me perfectly right now, and it gives you a gorgeous coverage. And these two together, like, you just can't. It's so good. I also had a sample of the warm beige, which is the shade higher than this, and it worked well for me towards the end of summer. I got that one when Sal and Elena were here, so I got that like in the beginning-ish, like yeah, in the beginning of, no, not the beginning, 2 weeks or so in August. I got a sample of it and I used it all up and I loved it. So I definitely recommend this foundation if you want medium coverage that doesn't leave you flat. It's awesome. You will love this. Okay, I'm like a little bit all over the place. Let's stick to face and then we'll move to eyes, lip, and then fragrance. This is something I don't hear very many people talk about, but it is so good. And I actually want to do a video all about products that are really good that just don't get mentioned very often here on YouTube. You always hear about the same ones over and over again. Now, this contour palette, cream contour palette, is awesome. This is from Laura Mercier, and it's just called the Laura Mercier Contour Palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. The only thing is, this does not have a, this does not have like a cream highlighting color. This has like a yellow highlighting color, but it has shimmer in it. So I don't know, I mean, I don't use it, to be honest with you. I use it on the top of my cheekbones for a little bit of glow, but I don't use it under the eyes or anything. But like what I love particularly about these are these two colors, this one here and this one here. This is nothing like the Anastasia Cream Contour Palette, which you guys know I don't like at all. This is, I don't know if you can tell, but like it is so, this is the big color right here, and then there's this one right here. I don't know if you can tell, but like they are so creamy. They blend like a dream. It's phenomenal. It really is a phenomenal contour palette, and I think by far the best contour palette I've tried, cream contour palette I've tried. It really is worth the money. I love that yellow one too, like for the top of the cheekbones, and I also like the highlight number 2, which is more of a bronzy one for underneath the cheekbones if you're gonna do like an all over bronzer, like just to give you that beautiful like back from vacation glow to the skin. It's a great product. I think a lot of you would love it. Okay, and then another thing for the face, I come back to this. This is like my 3rd year in a row. This is the Laura Geller Blush and Highlight in Spiced Chai and French Vanilla. Truth be told, it's not my favorite highlight. It's not very shiny, but it's nice for setting on your under eye area if you have really dry under eye area, because there's no sparkle in it. It's not like a nice sheen, but I particularly love this for the blush. It is perfect for this time of year, and I love that there's no chunks of glitter. It's very smooth. It's a beautiful berry color that I think glides onto the skin, giving you a fantastic, just like that. It's a mixture of like warm and flushed, you know? When you're a little bit warm, when your cheeks get rosy, and when you're flushed, your cheeks get really red. It's like a mixture of the two. It's such a beautiful color. A definite must-have for me, and one that, like I said, I've used a lot over the years. I got this, I think, 3 years ago, and I've never put it down. Every fall and winter, I go back to it, and it's one of my favorites. For eyes, I use this palette. I have a lot of palettes in my collection that I don't use very often, and this is one of them. And my goal is to start using more palettes, more of my collection, instead of like purchasing the latest and greatest. I want to go through my collection and start using things I have. This is a great palette that, again, not a lot of people talk about anymore. It's the Stila In the Light eyeshadow palette. If you like those rose gold, those like warm tones, you will love this. And it's got these two colors up here that can give you a gorgeous gray smoky eye in like no time or no effort. But primarily these colors right here, these warm tones, are gorgeous. These are beautiful shadows. Look at this one. I believe that's Kitten. Yep. This is this one right here. And then this is my favorite. It's called Sunset. It's right over here. It's a gorgeous rusty rose gold color. I took this on vacation with me. Look at the Kitten one. Oh my I took this on vacation with me and I kind of wore the same look every night, but it was so, so pretty. I used pretty much mostly this top row and a little bit of bubbly. Like one night I put a little bit of bubbly in the center of my eyelid for like that rusty gold look, and it was gorgeous. I love these. They stay on your eyes really, really, really well. They don't have insane fallout. It's just a really good classic, and I think it's under $40, which I think is a great bargain for a great palette. Okay, the last makeup item is a lip liner. One that I think everyone should have in their collection, and it's a classic. It's Lancome Bronzell. This is my second one. I lost the clear cap for that side, which drives me crazy, but it's a good like brown color. It's what I'm wearing today. It will go perfect with your light nudes, mid-tone nudes. It would work good. It would work well underneath your rose colors or your deeper colors, just like as a base, because it also lasts on your lips really well. That's the color right there. It doesn't show up, it's not showing up as well. There you go, because that side was wet. But that's the color right there. It's just, it's awesome. You need it, and it lasts so well on your lips. You don't have to do anything to it. It's fantastic. So you need this. This should be like the top 5 lip liners you own if you are a nude lip lover like I am. And then the last thing is a fragrance, and it's by Zara. I know, it's really inexpensive. The only problem is you can't buy this online. You have to buy it in the store. This is just these, they have a lot of them, but this is the Black Amber. It smells so, girls' night out. I don't do that, but like a night out, like sexy smell. I can't describe it. It's so, like when you put this on, you can't help but feel good. Now, this reminds me of Miami because I bought this when I was in Miami and I wore this the whole time I was there. So it reminds me of those hot summer nights with like a strapless dress, you know, your bronzy skin. It's just so incredible, and I think this was like 20 some dollars. I bought it because I was at the checkout line. I was waiting to check out, and this was on the wall like right to my right, and of course I can't help myself. I have to like sniff them off. And this was actually a duo. I came with this one. They came together. I think they were $29 for the two of them. This one is Femme, and I like it, but I've not worn it nearly as much as I've worn this one. This is just a really sexy scent, and I love it. And I think all of you, those of you who love a strong, sort of sexy, almost boyfriend smell, you would really like that. So those are all of my current favorites. Let me know what you want to see next, whether it's some fashion stuff or whatever. Just let me know your thoughts. I always like hearing from you. And like I said, this makeup tutorial is coming up in just a few days, so keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you next time. Bye!